This former capital city of Japan is one of the perfect tourist destinations for history lovers. Were you aware it still had shogun castles, museums, and architectural masterpieces? Hence why many tourists find this wonderful city fascinating. We'll be taking you across the city of Kyoto to show you the top 10 things you can do while visiting Japan. The Kinkakuji Temple is one of the Kyoto's most famous attractions, and you shouldn't miss seeing this masterpiece while in Kyoto. This temple was built far back in 1397 as a residence for a shogun, Ashikaya Yoshimitsu, but it became a Zen temple after he died in 1408. In case you're wondering who a shogun is, a shogun was a powerful military leader in the feudal Japan. They were like the top boss of a military and had a lot of control over the city, sometimes even more than the emperor. Shoguns ruled Japan for centuries, starting around the 12th century. The temple is also called the Golden Pavilion because it's completely covered in gold leaf. The sight of the gold-covered structure is almost surreal experience you wouldn't want to miss. Here's a free tip. The temple is usually open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., so to avoid any crowds, make sure to arrive a few minutes before it opens. Kyoto has about 14 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, including the Ryoanji Zen Garden. Ryoanji Zen Garden is famous for its rock garden. The garden construction date and designer were unknown, but the temple was the first built as fancy house for a rich family called Tokudaji. Later on, Hosokawa Katsumoto, who worked for a powerful leader called the Shogun, got the house in 1450 and then invited a priest named Gitten Genso to change it into a Zen temple. The temple became internationally known after Queen Elizabeth paid a visit to the temple in the 70s. So what is the temple like? The temple grounds have a park area with a pond and a restaurant that specializes in boiled tofu. This Zen garden has 15 rocks placed in rectangular area, but somehow mysteriously you cannot see all 15 at once from any vantage point. Many people assume that the circles on the sand represents wave, small rocks represent hills, big rocks represent mountains, and the moss represents the forest on an island, while others think that it represents a tigress and her cubs crossing a river. The truth is, no one knows the actual meaning, so it's left for you to interpret it in your own way. Next on the list is Nishiki Market. If you're already asking some questions like, why should I visit a market? What am I going to do there? Well, Nishiki Market is one of the oldest markets in Japan. It is usually called the Kitchen of Kyoto. The history of this place dates back to 1615, and it started as a fish market. But today, it has more than 100 types of Japanese food, fruits, and vegetables you can try. So if you're a food lover like me, you shouldn't miss visiting Nishiki Market. The market is close to the Kyoto Samurai and Ninja Museum, which will be talked about later in this video. Inside the Nishiki Market, there are many stores and shops with a lot of history you can visit. One is the Aratsugu Knife Store, which was founded back in 1560 by Japanese famous swordsmith Aratsugu Fujiwara. You can visit the Sengyo Kimura Fish Shop, which was established back in 1620, and Daiyasu Oyster Shop, which was over 100 years old. The Takase River is one of the several canals created by Shimonokura Ryori, a Kyoto-based merchant and shipper during the late 16th and early 17th century. The Takase River is like a narrow canal, and it is much smaller than the Kamo River. It was mainly used for transportation of food, sake, cargo, and vegetables in and out of Kyoto for over 300 years. Although the boats were used during those periods are no longer available, you can see a replica of a flat-bottomed boat at starting point near Nijo. If you enjoy nature, you can take a stroll down there anytime, but the best time to visit is during the spring between March and April, when the cherry trees bloom. The river is lined with cherry blossom trees, and whether it's day or night, the sight is beautiful. Look, trust me, it's definitely a must-see. You can stop a while strolling for Japanese food and drinks in the cafes and restaurants along the way. While in Kyoto, you should check out the Nijo Castle and see where the powerful men in Japan lived. The castle was built in 1630 for the first shogun of the Edo period, Tokugawa Ieyasu, one of the most powerful men in Japan. The Edo period in Japan was a time from 1603 to 1867, where the country was ruled by the powerful Tokugawa family, and they lived in the city called Edo, which is now Tokyo. The castle's palace buildings are one of the best examples of Japan's castle-palace architecture from the feudal era. The castle was named as UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1994. The castle floor is made of a special cricky floorboards, and if you come to visit, you can walk on the crickly floor, and trust me, no matter how light you are, you will feel very uncomfortable. So why is the floor like this? The floor was specially made to detect any sneaking ninjas from raiding the castle at night while everyone was asleep. The castle consists of 3 areas: the Honmaru, the Ninomaru, and the surrounding gardens. Visitors can explore the Ninomaru Palace, which served as the residence and the office of the shogun during his visits to Kyoto. The palace rooms are covered in mats with decorated ceilings and beautiful sliding doors. Visitors can also explore the Ninomaru Garden, a traditional Japanese landscape garden. The Honmaru Palace is not regularly open to the public, but visitors can walk around to Honmaru Gardens and climb up to the stone foundation of the formal castle, keeping for views over the castle grounds. The Fushimi Inari is one of the most visited places in Japan, mostly because of the 10,000 vibrant orange torii gates. The reason why the gates are red-orange color is that it is said to be a protective color against evil forces. This shrine is a special place where people worship a Shinto god named Inari, who was believed to bring good luck and prosperity, especially related to rice and agriculture. People have been donating gates back in the Edo period. Each Fushimi Inari taisha's roughly 10,000 torii was donated by the Japanese businesses, and approximately 800 of these are set in a row to form a tunnel which you can walk through. You can start at the lower level to admire the sulk of fox statues. The full loop takes about 2 to 3 hours to complete, and it's worth making to climb to avoid the huge number of visitors that usually loiter around the lower levels. Visiting the shrine is different from other places, and you can take really nice pictures there. It's a good spot to capture memorable moments and enjoy the peaceful atmosphere. There are other museums in Kyoto you can visit, but trust me, visiting the Samurai and the Ninja Museum is one of the experiences you will enjoy if you're looking for a fun and exciting way to experience ancient Japanese culture. The Samurai and Ninja Museum is located right next to the Nishiki Food Market, so you can move straight from the market to the museum. There are knowledgeable tour guides that will show you around. You get to see the wide variety of artifacts, including samurai armor, weapons, and ninja outfits. There are even optional experiences like training like a ninja or samurai, watching a samurai sword show, and trying on costumes. The museum has also exhibits from the Edo period, including real katanas. You can even book a lesson to try out a real samurai sword. All of the rooms and exhibits are designed in the styles of the Sengoku period, so you'll feel like you're stepping back in time. If you're interested in purchasing a souvenir, the museum gift shop offers a variety of options, including antique samurai swords and armor for sale. Arashiyama is a small town located around the Oi River. It has many exciting places you can visit, including Ryoanji Temple, one of the 14 World Heritage Sites in Kyoto. Apart from the temple, there is a secret date spot for Japanese lovers you can visit called Bamboo Forest. Imagine, you're walking through a magical forest alone or with your loved one, but instead of regular trees, you're surrounded by towering bamboo stalks that sway gently in the breeze. As you stroll along the winding paths, the bamboo forms a sort of a natural tunnel overhead, creating a peaceful and mesmerizing atmosphere. You can take your time to explore the forest, listen to the soothing rustle of bamboo leaves, and maybe even spot some local wildlife like birds or insects. It's a great spot for taking photos too. You'll find plenty of Instagram-worthy moments around every corner. When you're done wandering through the bamboo grove, you can explore the surrounding area, which is also full of other attractions like temples, gardens, and quaint shops selling souvenirs and snacks. Make sure you add this to your Kyoto travel plans. Here is another building that was built for the powerful men in Japan you can visit. The Kyoto Imperial Palace was the residence of Japan's imperial family for the 6 centuries until 1868, when the capital of Japan was moved to Tokyo. The palace is surrounded by Kyoto Imperial Park, or Kyoto Gyoen, and is located right in the center of the city. The original imperial palace was built from 1630 until 1854, when the current one was built in 1855 after a fire destroyed the first building. If you're interested in visiting the Kyoto Sento Imperial Palace, you can explore the hall used for state ceremonies, the emperor's living quarters, and the imperial study. Nearby, you can also find the palace gardens, which feature a peaceful pond and stream. Here's a tip for you. You have to go there early so you can grab a ticket to tour the palace. Kyoto is often known as the home of traditional Japanese cuisine, and one meal you shouldn't leave Kyoto without trying is the Kaiseki Meal. Kaiseki is a traditional Japanese meal made with seasonal ingredients, typically served at banquets and gatherings, and is recently added as a UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage. It includes various courses such as sashimi, grilled dishes, and stewed or boiled dishes with vegetables and seafood. First, you might get a small appetizer to start. Then, there's a course with a raw fish called sashimi. After that, you'll be served some cooked dishes, including grilled meat or vegetables. Next comes a serving of rice. Finally, to finish off the meal, you'll have a dessert. When eating Kaiseki cuisine, there are some manners you should obey, like holding small plates and bowls, using chopsticks properly, and eating dishes in a specific order, starting with hot soup. Remember, not let chopsticks hover over food or pull dishes towards you. Just before you go, what do you think about these amazing places in Kyoto? We'd like to have your take on the comments. Make sure to check out our other videos about Japan and other Asian countries. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our incredible travel videos and much more. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.